This is what atrial fibrillation or atrial flutter looked like for me. An important point to add is that I didn't have any other physical symptoms. No chest pain, shortness of breath or loss of energy. So the important point I would think is that it's very easy for it to go unnoticed. This is why I want to share my experience of what I found it like. I really only noticed that my resting pulse went from a normal 55 beats per minute to 125 to 130 beats per minute, and also the rhythm was very uneven. So I suppose, to put it very simply, if you look at the visual display on this €15 finger pulse monitor, it pretty much describes how it appears as accurately as I can describe it. Now, the most important complication resulting from atrial fibrillation is blood clots, because blood no longer gets mixed properly in the atria of the heart. So in itself, atrial fibrillation isn't the real concern, but if left undiagnosed or untreated, the resulting clots, as you probably will know, could really have a devastating effect. In my own case, it took 3 visits to my doctor over a 6 weeks period to get an accurate diagnosis. In this period of time, I'd built up a sizable clot in my right atrium, which took a further 6 weeks to dissolve with medication before I could have elective cardioversion. Cardioversion, simply put, is the stopping of the heart using a defibrillator and letting it start naturally again into its natural rhythm. I'm sure I should also add here that if somebody is going for cardioversion, I personally found it a very pleasant experience. A massive thank you, of course, to the doctors and nurses in the coronary care unit. And thankfully I'm back beating in rhythm as I was before. Looking back, there's nothing in particular I can pinpoint that might have triggered this. I don't smoke, don't really drink alcohol, and when I do, it's very seldom and very little. I would swim 60, 70 lengths 4 or 5 mornings a week. Apparently it's a very common occurrence though, so we shouldn't feel too special. According to the Irish Heart Foundation, 1 in 4 people over 50 are at risk of developing atrial fibrillation. One thing that is advised though is that you become familiar with taking your own pulse, so you're able to recognise it if something does go wrong.